Hello there, everyone. Shane Olson here again for another Monday live stream. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to be sculpting this awesome chameleon done by an artist that I just barely ran across. His name is Shafi Ahi, I think. I don't know how to say his name properly, so I apologize. But this really, really well-designed chameleon kind of reminds me of the one from Tangled a little bit. But it looks like it'd be a lot of fun to model, so that's what we're doing today. So hopefully the stream's working. I heard there wasn't an event set up, so hopefully this is all working out. All right, let's get going. Hey Cricket, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully sounds okay and everything's all good. I need to switch this. I was messing around before. Happy Monday to you as well. Thank you. Okay, Rob, thanks. I let Kyle know, so hopefully he can sneak in and change it. Yeah, like I've said before, if one person misses, then it kind of backs up the whole train. Okay, so with this one, this will be interesting to, kind of reminds me of Randall from Monsters Inc. as well. So I was lucky enough to sculpt Randall. He's actually sitting over here on my shelf, but sculpt Randall for Disney Infinity. And he was a fairly quick model, so I'm actually I like to start with the head most of the time, but today I think I'm going to start with that body. And I have a few images kind of set off to the side of real chameleons just to kind of see how their bodies work, because they're the most unique anatomy I think of a lot of animals. You know, they're just really strange. So let's stretch this out from the side. Hey Brad, how you doing? Hey Bad Kit, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. I think their bodies are kind of this this egg shape from the front. And kind of flat along the bottom, and then we'll just kind of go into his head here. And on this one, I think I'm going to be using well, I'm trying to decide how I'm going to curl up that tail, but I think I might just sculpt it and use ZRemesher as along the way. I've been doing that more and more, using fewer and fewer tricks and just kind of sculpting it. So, so James, I did not stream last week because I was I don't think I can announce it yet. I need to clarify if I can say what I was doing last week or not. But sorry to string you along like that. I don't mean to. But it was kind of a bucket list thing for me, so it was a lot of fun. It went really well. So, hey Charlie, how's it going? Nope, I didn't stream last Monday, so I wasn't here. You didn't miss it. Okay. So now that I'm starting to stretch this out back here, I think I might just stretch it out a lot, because then I'm going to curl it up. So yeah, I was sleeping. Okay, so subdivide this once and then get rid of the lower subdivisions. You're on 5 out of 204. You got a long ways to go, my friend. I can't believe I've done 204. That's crazy. But it's fun to get into a routine and just start going, you know? Okay, so now I can do a Z remesher on this. Poly count, I want to keep it really low. Maybe the lowest I can go with it and just see what it gives me. Yeah, maybe not that low. Too much, too much. Okay, so maybe let's try just a 1. It's like 1,000. It's having a really hard time figuring this out. So, but I like the density on it. I'm going to keep it the same. Do it again. That's a little better. I'll still be Z remeshing it as I go, so that works. Yeah, James, I think I was thinking about doing it that way. But I need to get that tail really far out there if I'm going to do that. To curl it up that much. So let's see. Let's see what Z remesher gives me. There we go. It's kind of like a silhouette of a rat or something about now, huh? Pretty wide from the top. It's too heavy. Okay. Trying to evenly distribute these polys because it's very flat from the top. So let's use a mask and mask this side, or unmask this like this, and then use the gizmo to kind of scale it in the middle. Invert the mask and soften it. Just kind of shrink it down. Whoop. Okay, that feels a little better. Now we can smooth it down, and it should be more even. Now it's probably took it too far. Hey HD, I've been great, thanks. Okay, now with the move brush, I can hit this Acu curve and pull this even sharper here. So how have all of you been? What have you been working on? The challenge for this month for my students has been Pokemon, and this guy could he could almost be a Pokemon. Okay. And it keeps like it's not knowing what to do with this. That's okay. Nice cricket. Oh, you've been watching the pirate character? Nice. Watching or like trying to follow along and sculpt it? Nice. Okay, so I'm going to try this, and I don't know if it will work. Okay. I just gotta get this gizmo up here. See if I can get it to be here, and then let's see what happens if I add a bend curve modifier. Yeah, so that's the problem. That's what I thought it would do, is it's going to put the bend curve modifier on the entire object. So it would almost be better if I were to clip off this tail, do the bend, and then stitch it back together, and which isn't a bad idea, honestly. Because basically, if I'm going to do this now and I try to curl up this tail now, see if I turn up the curve resolution and I start to bend things, it will, I can only use these 3, because if I start to bend this, I mean, it does respect masking, but I mean, I guess it can still work. Running out of geometry quickly. Yeah, see, this is why I'm just like, you know, I think I might just sculpt it. Okay, so I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to try a few different things. Let's go back and say reset and delete. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Looks like Kyle's got the title going on now. All right. Yep, this is new. I start new every so often. Okay, let's see what I can do with this. This is the transpose line, if you didn't know what this was. And I can also, what I was going to try too is using the focal shift on the gizmo. I don't think that'll give me what I want either, but I want to try it. I'm going to change the focal shift up to 0 and rotate this. Yeah, it's going to bend the wrong way. Okay. So part of me just wanted, I kind of just wish I would go at a lower resolution and just kind of wind it up, you know? Let me see, I'm just going to try something. No. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit, I was going to try and use the transpose tool, but I think I'm just going to do what I should have in the first place. Mask this off. Hit Control W. Actually, okay, put this in its own poly group, and then I'm going to split, group split, and that's going to put this piece in its own poly group and this piece in its own poly group. And now I can use that that bend deformer with more accuracy. Okay, so essentially what I can do is, where did my gizmo go? Where did my gizmo go? Let's get it back here. There we go. Okay. My symmetry not turned on? That's weird. All right. Reset it. And I'm going to put it back to the beginning here. And it should put a bounding box over this whole thing now. Okay. So let's try it out. And I could close off the hole, which I might. I probably should. So if I solo this and I hit double over here, you're going to see that we now have an open hole. We can just hit close holes on that, like that. Cricut curved tube would actually work. It would work well. Yeah. There's so many ways. So many ways you could do this, right? Yeah, curved tube would work pretty well, I think. Okay, so now let's do a bend curve. See, it gives me a way better bounding box. And now I can start to do this. So I want the end to be somewhere right here. And just keep wrapping it around until I run out of geometry or points. So what I like to do is work larger to smaller. And yes, this is warping this end, but that's okay. So I like to work with fewer points and then increase them as I go, essentially. So I can pull this out, not twist. I don't want to twist it. Why did I grab twist? Oh, come on. I want to get to 0. Okay. It's this orange one. Grab the wrong orange one. Okay, now I pulled this to curve resolution 5, and now I can get even more detailed in there. And just kind of keep working it around. Push this back to straighten this back up over here. I want to get a tighter bend in it. There we go. And I'm just trying to get it close. I don't have to get it perfect with this, because I can Z-remesh it when I'm done. And you can see how this tail has kind of a lot of thick to thins, which I'm not getting with this. So, hey Tom, how you doing? Okay. Now I can come back and be done with it and then sculpt on it to make it shape more like the tail. So when you're all done and happy-ish with it, click on this again and just go accept. Now I can just start to smooth it out, even it down. And for some reason it turns off my symmetry. So I'm just going to do a mirror and weld right now. Actually, let's mirror it and then do a mirror and weld. Better result. Let me see what's going on with this. Should mirror pretty good. Local symmetry is on, that's why. There we go. Okay, that's better. Smooth this out. I'm going to Z-remesh this too, so. Samwise, totally. How you doing? Okay, come on, get straight. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to Z-remesh this. I'm going to hit keep groups just to keep that cap on the end. And I can use same. There we go. Not bad. Hey, Tattoon, doing good, thanks. Okay, now let's see if we can get some of this shape going on in here. I still have AccuCurve turned on. I love these thick to thin shapes. Putting the kids to bed. Man, it's noon for me. It's lunchtime. My kids are doing their schoolwork right now. Well, they should be. Well, they're doing lunch right now. Okay, I'm going to Z-remesh this again just to kind of see if I can fix that. And yes, it did. Great. Thank you, Z-remesher. My kids that are in school, one is, gosh, now I'm trying to remember. One's 16, one's 14, and yeah, those are the two that are in school. I have two older ones as well. Just get this pointy. Teens. I'm dealing with teens. They're fun. Okay, now sometimes I'll use this move elastic. And the difference between Move Elastic and Move is it's a little spongier. See that? And it has a bigger fall off. And it's just, I like to use it with like long objects like hair, tails, that kind of stuff. Neil, why would I have symmetry on? Let's check this out. Gosh, I'm a dummy. Thank you, Neil. I gotta figure this out. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna turn symmetry on right now. I fixed it before and then it broke. This is the part where I show you that everybody struggles. It doesn't matter who you are. Oh, come on. Okay. Hey, what's up, Angry? How you doing? Okay, so now that we have this, I'm going to close holes on this guy. Make sure symmetry is on and do a mirror and weld on this one. I really love the personality of this guy. He looks like he's not, he's just fascinated with that butterfly, right? Just like, ooh, what is that? Like he'll most likely eat it, but in the meantime, he's fascinated by it. Which I love it. Okay. So now that I have these two, I can combine them. Let's do a save. And okay. All right, I'm not even listening. I have headphones on and I'm not listening to any music. It's like, what am I even wearing these for? Let's get some tunes going. Pardon me for a moment while I pick some tunes. Oh goodness, really? Ugh. Gotta verify it's me. I've only logged in on the same computer every day. Is it you? Really? Same person. Okay. Back to it. There we go. Little psychedelic furs. Yeah, Samwise. People just be talking to me. And these are open back too, so I can hear whatever's going on in the room as well. Okay, so I'm going to merge these down, or merge this tail down. Okay, and now I'm going to stitch these, remesh by union. Okay, I got to get this centered. Let's see if this works. Remesh by union. check the stitch, looks good. Hit accept. We're good. Now I can just kill the poly groups and remesh. Turn off keep groups. Same. There we go, and then we can just smooth this out. What do you use for your low poly rigging rendering? I'm thinking of getting Maya India. I'm just struggling with Blender every time I try it. Plus I'm nervous about when the next subject. I wouldn't be nervous about ZBrush because I mean I don't want to get into it, but if you already own the perpetual license of ZBrush, you already bought it, you have it. So for the upgrades, why would they charge an exuberant amount? It doesn't make any sense. And then as far as rigging goes, I've only rigged in Maya, so I can only attest to that software. Well, I take that back. I've also rigged in 3D Studio Max with both Character Animation Toolkit, which is phenomenal. That's my favorite way to rig of all time. I do not know why it's not more popular than it is. It's phenomenal, absolutely. But it's just nobody uses it. I don't know why. I really don't know why. And then with the character, you know, the character that's built in with 3D Studio Max, the character rigger, that one's pretty fun to use as well. And then then Maya, I just, you know, just regular rigging. It's just with putting in bones, putting in handles, and rigging it. So that's, I would say that's your best bet, and it's still industry standard. So yeah, and it depends on the project. Like what, oops, let me make sure symmetry is turned on for this one. You know, it depends on the studio, the project. 3D Studio Max is used in a lot more game studios than like film or television. Maya is still the most widely used when it comes to film and television. Why, I didn't have symmetry on when I did my Z remesher. Let's try it again. There it goes. It's so weird. Okay. You just have to be careful because every time you Z remesh, it will, you know, there's a chance it'll give you some weirdness. So you just kind of have to watch it. And then, I gotta turn this down, too loud. I feel like I'm having to talk over the music now. Oh, the modifier stack got annoying. Yeah, I can see that. And okay, and also, yeah, like Nightbot is saying, there's well, like the Nightbot said before, there's a stream from Maxon on Wednesday, and they may talk about it there. I don't know. I don't work for ZBrush or Maxon. I'm a volunteer. I'm a lowly volunteer, so I don't have answers when it comes to that stuff. I just love the software and I love to demo it, so kind of teach it. Okay, so I think his tail is way too long now that I'm looking at it. But I want to get his arms, legs, whatever you want to call these, and then his head in there so I can start to figure stuff out. Yeah, scrunching it up like that. I knew it was going to mess it up a little bit. That's okay. You can just relax it. Okay. All right, let's block in his head. I haven't checked it out yet, Neil. That's fun. Oh, local symmetry. Also, if you're wondering what this brush is I'm using, this is a brush. It's called Insert Primitive, a multi-mesh brush that I made. I made a bunch of primitives that are basically subdivided cubes so I have quad spheres. So these are just different levels of subdivision for the spheres. And then a cube, just a regular old cube, and then a cube that's been split, and then a cylinder that has quad ends instead of poles, and then this appendage brush is just essentially an elongated sphere that I like to use. And if you want to get them, I give them away for free over on my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can check that out. All right, I'm going to rotate these around. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Let's see here. Give him a hand. And Chameleon's toes are so weird. And I'm going to make it more like, so these are more like hands that have 2 fingers and a thumb. And I like the look of those, so I'm going to kind of make them look like that a little bit. Yeah, Neil, they've been turning out really great. So if you're wondering what Neil's talking about, I also teach an online course called the 3D Character Workshop. You can find that as well over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. If you want to learn how to make characters like this one. Okay. You know, I think I'm going to make these, well, geez. Yeah, Samwise I will, actually. It's part of the scene. It's part of his reaction, you know, it's part of what's happening. So, yeah, I want him to be looking at it. Let's see. I'm going to put just a slight bend in this, just so I can kind of judge where it is and figure it out from there. Okay. I want to try something with the knife brush. Why not? Better save it though, just in case. So I absolutely love the new knife brushes. And I love them so much that I've put them out on my user interface. Because they work so much better than any of the older brushes. Because it will not only slice the mesh, but it will get rid of whatever you're slicing out of it, and then rebuild the geometry based off of the density of the object that you cut it out of. That's a mouthful, but we'll try it here and see what we get. Yeah, see, like instant mouth. I know it looks a bit Muppety, but yeah, what it removes depends on which direction you go. So if I went this direction, it's going to leave everything else. But if I go like this direction, it's going to keep that. So I think, I mean, I wanted to show you kind of a preview of what it does, but I want to kind of build the head out a little bit more and give him a neck and get him a little closer before I start cutting out the mouth. Maybe get some eyes in there, because the top of his head kind of scoops in, and I want, you know, this is doing the opposite, so I don't want to be battling the mouth split. So I'm going to get all that done first, and I think I might increase the density as well and get that smile happening. Okay. So if you draw down, it'll cut out what you're selecting. If you go up, if you think about it more like clockwise and counterclockwise rather than up and down, so it's like left or right. So if you draw counterclockwise, like in this direction, it's going to cut it out. There's a nice mouth shape for you. And if you go in clockwise direction like this, it's going to keep it. And it will only cut or keep out of the object that you're splitting. So you can see that there are several objects in this subtool. I believe so if you cross two of them, it's going to cut them out of both. But if you only cross one of them, it'll only take it out of that one. Or it will only leave that bit out of that one. And it'll leave the other objects alone. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, and the top of his head is really like skinny and small and deflated, and the top of his head it's kind of defined by, well, not only this kind of fin on the back of his head, but the brows that are sticking out. So, and I want to increase the topology or density of this one object here without affecting the rest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split hidden and then subdivide it so I get more topology, and then delete lower, so now I have more geometry that I can play with. Hello and welcome. Okay, I want to get some eyes in there just so I can have something, again, something to react to. These eyes are going to be very difficult because they're very, very cheated, meaning they're kind of squashed and they're stretched and they're doing their own thing. If I were to make this eye like this, the eyeball would be popping out of the top of the head and popping out down into his mouth. Yeah, so I'm going to have to kind of do some figuring out. I'm going to make them as big as I possibly can. And then split, unmask points. Okay. And yes, they will get crossed inside, internally. Okay, you know what? Before I do that, though. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. I just wanted to be able to center the gizmo in the middle. They are crossing just a little bit. So you're going to see it's not quite in the middle. So I'm going to have to manually move it over. Or I can move these apart, then stick it in the center. Now I know they're in the center. So I just wanted to be able to move the gizmo. Now I have duplicates for some reason. it looks like so even though I did a split hidden, it still keeps the geometry kind of in the cache of the last object or the last subtool. So when I rewound on that subtool, it brought them back. And now I have two sets of eyeballs. So I'm going to actually go to here. Okay. And then go to these eyeballs and then center them. Okay, there we go. The reason I wanted to center this gizmo is just so I can scale from the center rather than from the back. And that way I can overlap these and move them into the head and still scale them without affecting the opposite side eyeball. Okay. Tadpole, sperm, whatever you want. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Now, for this face, I think I'm going to... Yes, Amway's right. Transparent. All right, what song is this? Get it out of here. Sometimes my radio just kind of goes off into Never Never Land. Okay, let me try something else. Sorry, one second. Try that again. That's better. Okay. General love of metalcore? I don't know what metalcore is. I'll be ignorant and say I don't know what it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this now is I'm gonna flood fill it with dynamic topology, and that's this slider right here on my user interface. So I'm gonna give myself a little more density here. Oh, serious? Like like speed metal? Like oh geez. I can't handle it. There's one video of Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street like doing speed metal. It's the funniest thing ever. That's about where my love for it ends. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to finish up these fingers before I duplicate it. Because I'm feeling okay about that head. I think I need to add more volume in the lower area, but okay, let's get his fingers in there. Short motion, hello. Yep, I try to be. I wasn't here last Monday, but I'm here today. What? You hear pigs squeals in metal music? It's all good, Gold. It's a pretty big decent investment for a hobbyist. But there are a lot of hobbyists in there. Oh my. I feel like a sneeze coming on. Oh. Yeah. Stare at the sun, stare at the light. Don't be afraid to overlap your geometry, like really sink your geometry into the neighboring geometry. Don't be timid about it. Because transitions are very important. Yeah, I'm not offended at all. Thank you. Maybe someday. I have, but this is the Maxon / ZBrush live stream channel, so I like to keep the conversation on ZBrush. So I don't really talk about other software too much. Hope you can understand that. Thanks, Cricket. Appreciate it. I think I feel like his fingers need to be really long. Yeah, Short, I fell in love with it right away. It's super nice. If you like it, you should go give Shafi Ani or Ahi a follow over on Instagram. That's his Instagram. Super cool. Let's see. Just want to make these a little longer. It's not very stupid at all. You know, a lot of times every Monday, like, I find a concept, you know, minutes before I go live. Embarrassingly enough. Thanks, Neil. Would you mind posting his art station as well? People to check out. He's got some really good designs. Gives you anxiety. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay. I'm sure I'm gonna be like stretching the heck out of these fingers as I wrap them around that stem, that vine. Because they're cheated as well. The guy in art station got his permission to use his work for practice. Just keep going back to it for practice. Yeah. In your opinion, what's the best way to make a honeycomb pattern on a sphere compound eye? Noisemaker. I've never done it before, so I'd have to think about it. You could try Noisemaker. You could try Array. I'm trying to think of some other options. Array mesh might work. Micro mesh, I think it's called. That might work. And sometimes, you know, you can just get a honey. It depends on, well, if it's on an eye, you could go get a honeycomb pattern, like clip art or something, just a honeycomb pattern, and then make sure your eye has UVs, and then apply that texture to the eyeball and get it exactly how you want, just in texture. And then you can like use a mask to extrude it out or push it in or whatever you want to do with it, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a question more for like the tech junkies on here, like Paul Gabry or Michael Pavlovich. I bet they could answer your question in 2 seconds, whereas I'm like, oh, I'd have to think about that one or ask Paul myself. Okay. Michael knows. You know Michael knows. Okay, so I just thought of something I might do with this. Just to keep it fun. I might see how he's got these little connection, I don't, fatty tissue areas around where the arms come out. I might just put those in the body and leave the arms separated. Yep, armpit meat. Oh yeah, he did those Squid Game masks. Yep, he would know. So that's a matter of fact. He would know. How to use dynamic settings on standard brush? How to use dynamic? What do you mean dynamic settings? Are you like talking about dynamic size right here? Okay, I'm gonna separate these legs off. Arms, legs. Doing a split hidden. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. If you go to ZBrush Live, you can see when Michael Pavlovich streams next. and just try and hop in his stream. And I don't know how to ask him a personal question, you know, like how to send him a message or something. Simulation dynamics. I don't really use simulation dynamics too much. So I don't, yeah, I usually just use these brushes here. Not very good at answering questions today, I apologize. Okay, so I want to flatten his head from the back. Yes, this is live. Coming to you live. All right, let's get his crown thing on the top, his shark fin. What the crap? One second, sorry. Oh, yes, that's what I want. Okay. All right. I had to get different music. Apple Music's not giving me what I want today. Something like that, maybe. Fun little shark fin. I'm gonna split this off though. All right, I want to take this a little more dense here. Hello, hello, welcome, thank you. All right, too heavy. I want to try some clay tubes to build up these brows. Okay. Now I think I want to try that knife brush. Maybe pull his lips out just a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to use Well, I'm going to make the mouth a little bit further away from the eye and then push it up into it. So let's see. So if we grab this knife brush, there we go. There we go. Slice. Now you can see his eyeballs sticking down through there. Like I thought they would. Hey, Sir Delucia, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this is the cool thing about the knife brush is it will fill the geometry with the same density of whatever it is you cut it out of, which is awesome. So then I can just like lightly smooth through here. Actually, I'm going to use Sculptress Pro to do it. Here we go. That's what I want. Just want to add some density as I'm smoothing. Okay, now normally I love to keep eyeballs perfectly spherical, but in this instance they're hanging down into his mouth, so I'm going to squish them up into his head. Oops. Didn't mean to Sculptress Pro that. Okay, that'll do. Then I can keep them quads and smooth them out so they're smooth. Hey Chris, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. All right, let's build up this smiley cheek meat. Smiley cheek meat. Doing okay? Good to hear. Hey Max. Indeed, here I am, streaming. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you? Every day's a good day when you sculpt. That was somebody made a Bob Ross song. He said every day's a good day when you paint. All right. Now they chameleons have these big rolled up, like, I don't know how they function, but these tongues that can like, you know, like a frog's tongue. But I think I'm just going to do a regular old whatever this is doing. Yeah, I want to see what they have to say, for sure. I'm always excited for that stuff. Okay, I do want to give him kind of an inner edge to his mouth. So, whoops, mask pen. I'm just going to run a mask along the edge here. Actually easier. Let's mask off the interior of the mouth. Nice. It's funny, you can see right where the Sculptress ends and it turns into quads. I think I'm going to actually fill that with Sculptress, like with triangles. Let's just go ahead and switch over to a brush. And then lower this down. There we go. Maybe even a little bit more. A mouth game changer. Certainly is. Especially with mouths that are in a big old smile like this, you know. For regular mouths, I guess you could just cut out a little space and then put your character's lips together in a similar way, but for this one in particular with his mouth so open like this. Just trying to get his eyes right. I usually make cartoon mouths in my sculpture regardless. Yeah, it's so much easier when you actually give your character a mouth cavity rather than just trying to, like, you know, use the Damien standard or some kind of a detail brush to just cut a line in. You're kind of struggling with it at that point. Too strong on this one. This is just my pinch brush. Yeah, welcome. So if you guys didn't know, I just started an acceleration program not too long ago, which is essentially just a fancy term for mentorship, and it's going well. And if you want to learn more about it, if you're interested in it, if you're interested in getting some mentoring from me, if you could just send me an email to shane.olson, that's OLSON, at 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and just ask me about it. I'd be happy to tell you more about it. Just got 2 new students this week, or last week I should say. It's a new week. I'm trying to brute force a sculpt for tomorrow. Sometimes you get some of your best sculpts when you're under pressure, you know? Trying to just bust something out and get it done because you're not being all slow and methodical. You're just kind of going for it, you know? Sometimes that's just what you need. All right, I'm gonna mask this off just because I want to pull this in. Okay, I'm trying to fight this a little bit because the mouth looks a lot smaller and then there's a lot more volume here, and I'm just trying to figure out the volumes of that and how that would function to get it to look and feel that way. Diamonds from pressure. Yep. You know, a lot of good work comes out of kind of restrictions as well, like saying, okay, you can only do blah. And so, because then all of a sudden you get creative. Because sometimes when people say do whatever you want, it can become paralyzing and you don't know what to do because you can do anything. So when you have rules, you're like, okay, I understand the box that I can work within now. And, you know, there's a lot to be said about that too. Options, I would actually, yeah, options do. I would say restrictions though are good, you know, like saying it needs to be this, it needs to be this, and you can't do this or this, and yeah, and then you're like, okay, now you have a starting point. Because I think the hardest part is just to get started. That's like with anything, honestly, with my kids' homework, you know, them just getting started doing their schoolwork. Just the hardest thing is just to sit down and start doing it, especially when it comes to things you don't want to do, let alone things you do. So yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Cricut is too many options is kind of overwhelming, and then you end up not doing anything. You know, it's just like, I don't know what to do because I can do anything, so I'm not going to do anything. Yeah, yeah, we're saying the same thing. All right, I'm going to get him. He's got these really awesome lower eyelids that super stick out, so I want to get those in there. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, people are comfortable with the, you know, when you go to a restaurant, you just find the thing you like, and then you don't want to mess it up, and you know you like that thing, so you're just like, what should I get something different? And you just like look it through, you're just like, no, I'm just gonna get the same thing. I know it's good, and I just want good. So let's eat that thing. I do that all the time. Yeah, you're not alone. That's most people, I think. Let's see. I think I'm gonna end up. Yeah. See, I'm running out of triangles, so I'm gonna have to end up scaling him up. I should just do that in the beginning. Sometimes I remember. So I slid my my Sculptris Pro dynamic subdivision slider all the way to the left, and I've kind of run out. That's the floor, right? And my triangles still aren't small enough, so they're based on scene size. And if you're using my ruler file that I give away, if your yeah, if your guy is too small compared to this ruler, you're going to run out of triangles. So it's really easy just to scale everything up. Let's show the floor. Let's put the gizmo down here. And I'm going to move him down too. Okay. Maybe. Sure. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Channel sizzle. I love it. Okay. That's better. Now, so without touching that Sculptress Pro slider, well, I'm gonna, if I move it all the way to the bottom, you'll see the triangles will be very dense now. See that? Very dense. And that's my new floor because I scaled him up. I don't want him that small. Nope. Got to keep testing it out. That's too light. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to flood fill around his eyes here and around his lips, just where I want a little bit more detail. And this is the dynamic of dynamic topology. This is what I really like, is that you can keep you know, the rest of him relatively low compared to where you need to have the creases and whatever other detail you want. I actually kind of wish you could do like a fall off on your brush, you know? But okay. Could you take advantage of the stager? Not maybe. I haven't really thought about that, but I bet you could. Stager's kind of finicky though, so I don't use it too much, but maybe. There's a way to use Unify and unify all subtools as one instead of having to do them individually. I thought Unify does do unify all subtools. I can't remember if that's under subtool master. I just wondered if that had a unify all. Yeah, I'm not sure. Does the pinch brush create new topology while pinching? Well, mine does not. So if you have my pinch brush right here, I have Sculptress Pro turned off of that brush because it kind of works against itself if you have it turned on. So yeah, I have it turned off. I'm not sure if the ZBrush pinch brush has it turned off by default or not. How does it work with it turned on? Well, it doesn't. It kind of spits out garbage. Because it's like doing two things at once, that, you know, you're trying to pinch it and then it's creating new geometry that's just relaxing it back. So it doesn't really do anything very well. It's got a weird turn right there. This is weird. Why is it? It's like I built it up too much right here or something. Let's see what that looks like. Not bad. I like pinching with Dino Topo, and you can turn off. Oh, I see. Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know if you can set it up that way here. Be nice if you could, though. Oops. I lost my... I accidentally closed my chat window. There we go. Okay. Just did a quick test. It works once, and if you try to do it again, it goes the opposite. Oh, geez. Well, thanks for trying, though. Okay. Let's get that color going. That'd be fun. I like to get color going early. All right, I really want to make that cheek bigger. This model for animation or illustration? Just illustration. Basically, I make all my models ready for 3D print, is if I ever want to print them out. That's the goal anymore. I don't really do things for animation as much anymore. Oh, Bachman, you can? Awesome. I'll have to try that out. Also, make sure you don't have dynamic subdivisions turned on if you're using Sculptris Pro, which I accidentally just turned on, because it will slow your machine to a crawl. There we go. That's why it was only set to like 2 intensity. There we go. I am on a PC. I have a Mac as well, but right now I'm on all my streaming gear is on my PC. Let's see. In stereo. Today on Z94 FM. Yeah, honestly, it just depends on the studio. If more graphic design stuff is done on Macs. But yeah, I've seen, you know, especially with those new ultras, those can pump some power. And they have, what the heck is that? That's a hole. That there's a hole. All right, let's fix it. Close holes. Well, I'm actually going to mirror it. Local symmetry, turn this off. Mirror. There we go. That also fixes holes. Just mirror it to the other side and then do a mirror and weld and it's gone. I don't know. What is that from? And I was going to... I gotta finish this mouth interior that I started a long time ago and now I'm finally getting back to. Just my ADHD brain seeing everything everywhere and wanting to fix it. Oh, right. Got you. One of the lesser known quotes. Yeah, definitely. So it's kind of, after you've run a pinch along something, you don't want to go back with smooth and smooth it back out because it'll just do this and destroy your pinch. Yeah, that's what I tell my wife. I'm like, I can't remember anything because my head is full of song lyrics and movie quotes. It's full. And I can't delete it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to mask off the... Gosh, I picked pen again. There we go. I'm just going to make a lip. Give him a lip. Don't smooth your pinch. That's what I tell my wife. That's funny. That's funny right there. No, I tell her I can't remember things because my head is full of movie quotes. Right. This is a chameleon. Yes. Uncle Tony. Who's Uncle Tony? Okay, and if there's a spot that you can't quite get to, you can always change over to the select lasso. Hold down Control plus Shift, and then add Alt to the selection to turn it red, and then you can hide it. You can hide these eyes. Now I can get in there. Look like the Uncle Tony I know. Oh, okay. Must be a cool guy. Okay. So I'm going to invert this and then that's all that's on here. Yeah. So if you hover over this yellow square, you can see it says hold down Control to inflate. That essentially will move the geometry along its normal, or inflate or deflate, depending on the direction you move it. So I'm going to grab it and just kind of pull it in to give this whole mouth. Yeah, it's making a mess back there because I didn't mask it very well back there. So I'm going to invert that mask and let's do a better job masking back there. But this time I'm going to hide the bottom half. Oh, here, let's do this. There we go. Yeah, you can see this is where all the problems came from. Not a ZBrush expert. Oh, thanks. I don't know if I've... Okay, let's see. Now let's try it again. Control, inflate. Oops, other way. Push it in. And yes, it might make a mess in some areas, but for the most part, I'm just wanting to make a edge there. Invert this. Whoops. Actually, I'm going to fill it with the green, the darker green color. And what's kind of cool about this is you can hit C on your keyboard to eyedrop, and if you have a masked area somewhere on your mesh, you can actually eyedrop that darker mask color off of your sculpt. So now it's basically a darker version of that color, and then I can just fill it while it's masked, and it fills that area. There we go. But now we have stretched polygons all along this edge and across the back. It's kind of a mess, so let's go ahead and clean that up. Okay. So you can also work on the interior of a mesh. I learned this from Dylan Ekron. So you can hide everything around it. Like, since this already had a poly group, now I can clean up this mess back here. And if I want to clean up these polys without messing with the poly paint, if I hold down Shift and turn off RGB, it's only going to mess with the surface here, not the color. Okay, now I do want it just a little tighter on this. And then just run this down the edge and clean up the stretched out polygons. I'm trying to stay away from the edge. I mean, it won't break it, but it might cause some grief. Yeah, okay. And it looks like we got some issues. Yeah. So, I think I did come too close to the edge and I made some holes. No worries, Casey. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's see. Yeah, it's right along that edge. Make sure. I'm going to save it in case it crashes, because sometimes when you get a lot of holes, it's going to crash. Okay, so what I'm going to do is close holes, and then you can see it made this weird group over on this side. So I'm going to do a mirror and weld. That'll fix that up, and then I can move this a little bit, flood fill it, but yeah, that might not be a good idea. Too dense. I'll just leave it. It's looking all right. Okay. Let's grab this guy. Let's grab this orange color and fill it with this obnoxious orange color. All right, let's unhide these orange eyeballs. Give them a better color. How did I get good with color? I don't really consider myself that great with color, but just I have to say through experimentation and experience, and just, I mean, I've been doing it for 20 some odd years, you know. And one thing I guess one tip I could really give is don't use black shadows. Like, don't, if you're coloring or painting or doing whatever and you're trying to shade something, never use just grays or blacks to paint over the top of or mix with that color. Instead, use a different value of the same color. That's why it's so good to grab the masked version of that green, because it'll give you a darker version of that same color, you know? And it's, I mean, that's what these outlines are, right? The outlines on this original concept here, they're just a darker green of the mid color. So, and yeah, don't use pure white or pure black, like 100% black, 100% white, because if you're doing 100% white, when you go to light your object, it's going to blow out. Your whites are just going to get blown out, and it's going to hurt your eyes. And same with blacks. Blacks will get dropped in like game engines and rendering engines and stuff like that. There's like a tolerance, and it will just push it to, and then you won't be able to see all the details in the shadows of your model either, because it'll just be dark, dark, dark. So just be careful. Okay, I want to make his body shape a little better here. That feels better. Yep, color theory is great. But I'm just thinking about like just color in general. What's one of the biggest like eye-opening things that I discovered along the way, and that's probably one of them. Then you just kind of develop your eye and figure it out. Okay, I want to inflate these fingers a little bit more. Actually, all of them. I'm just going to inflate them all in a general thing. So come on, hide them. There we go. Not mask them, hide them. Okay, that feels better. Do you want to use this model for gaming or something? Would you bake the poly paint or take it to Painter for texturing? I would bake it as a start, and then I would use that base to take the textures further in Substance. Do you think at 41 years old it's almost too late to start? No, I don't. Think about this as a future career or only a solid year under the... You know, I say, you know, there's two best times to start. One is like a long time ago when you should have started, right? Whatever. The second best time to start is right now. So it's, you know, there's no it's not too late. It's not too late. And the basically your age shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is your portfolio. Portfolio is king. As long as you can show that you can do the work, then that's all you need. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter gender, where you live, even. Yeah, just portfolio is king. So, and there are jobs out there. There are people looking for characters, and it's just getting more and more where people need characters, like with the metaverse and VR and 3D printing, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so it's, you know, people are going to be looking for characters, and if you can make characters, they're going to want you to do it. It doesn't mean that you need to go work for a big company like Sony or Disney or whatever. You just need to. There you go. So Brad is one of my my acceleration program students, and he's only been he is an artist, so he's not starting from scratch, but he just started sculpting 9 months ago, and he just barely started freelancing for a film. And how crazy is that? And yeah, so it's completely possible. Completely possible. Thanks, Brad. Brad's just a young spring peeper. Okay. There you go. That's awesome, Emmerich. Yep, Goonies never say die. Hey, Brad. Yeah, go ahead and post your work. Post your a link to your portfolio. Oh, Neil beat you to it, Brad. Neil on the gun, on the link gun. Thanks, Neil. So you don't want to scale it down that much. Yeah, Brad's stuff is great. I feel like Brad found his voice too. Like when he first started working with me, he didn't really know where to focus, or he just kind of figured out. And then it was so awesome to watch because the work kind of came to him based off of what he gravitated towards. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it, man. Got to send you a check. All right, let's get, I'm going to dig into this upper eyelid. What software do I use for Retop? I use all kinds of different software. I think one of my favorites is I like Maya. I like Maya's retopping tools. There's that new cozy blanket on, and I've been playing with that. That's pretty cool. That's an iPad app for Retopology. That's pretty crazy. And ZBrush has some really great Retopology tools as well. I typically use ZBrush's Retop tools for making objects, like retopologizing small objects. I used to use TopoGun. I don't want to bash programs, but there's a couple things that kept me from using that I think they've addressed recently. But I actually teach how to do retopology in my course. Are there any other success stories? Yes. So I don't know if she wants me to say her name, but I have another female in there that just started working at Funko a couple of weeks ago. Did my version 3's in beta? I'm so glad that they're developing it again, because I love how it's displayed and how the geometry is displayed. It's really nice. There we go. My watch is telling me it's time to stand up. You know, you guys, I have to say, I was just telling Brad this the other day, is make sure you are, if you're sitting at a desk for a good part of the day, make sure you're standing up and walking around and actually getting your blood flowing, movement. Don't just be stagnant, because they're saying that sitting is the new smoking, right? It's just really bad on your body for long periods of time. So just take breaks, take walks, stand up. Yeah, Ian is another success story of mine. So Ian is another sculptor here on ZBrush Live. He sculpts on Sundays, and he's at Funko as well. He wasn't an acceleration student of mine, but I did give him a lot of feedback before the acceleration program was actually a thing. But yeah, Ian's great. He's awesome. Yeah, I said that, but I didn't say the original quote. I don't know who, some doctor said it, but it's just, yeah, take it for what it's worth. Yeah, a whole bunch of things. Also, your lymph node system, like, it does not have a heart, so it doesn't have a heartbeat to pump the fluids around. So, yeah, you need to get up and move to make those fluids flow. Okay, what's going on here? Got a little issue happening right there. Also, standing desks are a good thing. This is a standing desk, but I don't make it go up and down when I'm streaming because my camera is fixed. You'd be staring at my belly. Okay. Does my course cover rigging and posing? It covers posing in ZBrush. It does not cover rigging. And it does not, it covers making a game character, like a game ready asset. And I show you how to bake maps, retopologize, but I don't show you how to rig. I do show you how to pose in ZBrush. Okay, I need to crank up these brows here. I can use this, my fill brush, to see if I can get it to work better. Yeah, belly stream. Nobody wants to see that. Really pop this out here. I wouldn't say ripped, I'd say deflated. It's working pretty good. Love these brows on this guy. His eyes feel a little big though. Like down here. Sometimes I talk to myself silently, like whispering. Hey Angie, how are you doing? So what I notice is even this is reference is truly asymmetrical. You're making the model symmetrical. Yep. I do that as far as I can so I can benefit from the symmetry so I don't have to do twice as much work in the beginning, and then I will pose it asymmetrically. And I'll make it look as close as I can to this. Made it live. Woohoo! Hope you're doing good. Would you say it's hard to get jobs as a freelancer? No, I wouldn't say so. I would say, like I was just talking about earlier in the stream, I was saying it's, you know, people are looking for characters more now, more than ever, because of like all the stuff that's going on, you know, 3D printing, the metaverse, that kind of stuff, VR stuff. So many people need digital characters. NFTs, if I do dare say so, you know, there's a lot. I'm not saying do NFTs, but hey, it's a thing. People want characters. You're moving again? Oh, I'm sorry. No. Oh, you gotta. Oh, you're saying you gotta move more yourself, not you're actually moving. Sorry, I misread that. Moving is not fun, but moving is fun. Like moving, you know, walking. I've been trying to do walk 30 minutes twice a day is my goal. Don't always get there, but hey, that's my goal. Yeah, Cricket, that's what I say. Okay, now I feel like his head is a little too... I want to squish it down like this, but pull it back. So he has like zero top of his head. Hulk in place while playing Elden Ring. There you go. That'll do it. There are such things as walking desks, like treadmills underneath your desk. That's a thing. There's a programmer where I used to work that had one of those. So I thought it was pretty smart. Insane Pixel, really? I saw someone print a 3D version of a chessboard using characters from Princess Bride. Was it any good? Was it good? Sounds fun. Oh gosh. I'm a fidgeter, so I have a standing pad with hills on it. Oh, cool. That works. Comics, will there be a weight loss acceleration program? I've thought about it. I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about it. So I'll have to say I got to give a shout out to one of the books that I followed, and I'm still following. Is it's called The Starch Solution by Dr. McDougall. Yeah, check that out if you're really serious about, you know, I'm not going to get into it here during the stream because this is all about sculpting, but if you want to know like how I lost half of me, that's how I did it. So it wasn't too crazy. Basically the premise is half starch, half greens. Like potatoes. Potatoes aren't as bad as everybody makes them out to be. All right. Let's stitch these arms together. What were you saying, attentive? Have you tried Wrap 3D? I haven't really. Yeah, so your starches are like potatoes, rice, beans, starch, you know, half your plate starch. The other half, veggies like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, salad, whatever, you know, tomato, any veggie, honestly. Thanks, Gold. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's stitch these together. They're quite dense. I'm gonna undo that and go down one level. There we go, that's better. Not very even. Let's do a flood fill. This. Try that. Yeah, I want to do the butterfly as well. I don't know if I'm gonna get, well, my time is up actually, but I might, yeah, I'm gonna be getting to it. I'll most likely continue this next week. I want to stitch these together. Oh, the concept artist, Neil, could you post a link to that in chat? It's shafi.ahi. So there you go. And that's his Instagram. He also has an art station. Thank you very much, Neil. Okay. Let's stitch these together. Just gotta make sure my gizmo's in the middle. And then remesh by union. Up. Accept. And we're stitched. We are go. That's interesting. I've never tried to smooth out a stitching seam without like flood filling it first. And it's interesting that it like scrunches it all up like that. That's weird. Anyway, yeah, what I usually do is turn on Sculptris Pro, get it to about what I flood filled it at. And then that's too much. Okay. Hey Brad, I want to. Yeah, I have plans. I need to do more. I've just been busy with the the acceleration program and all the other stuff, Easter, you know, all the things. But yes, I definitely want to. I've been wanting to print my my standing cowboy. Here, before I shut the stream down, I'll show you guys the cowboy. And what I want to do is I want to key him. So I was thinking about maybe streaming that. I don't know. Let me save this here. Save as. Okay, and then let me load in my cowboy. I'll just show you really quickly. So I'm not sure where I'm going to stream it yet, if it's just for the students or live on my YouTube channel or what, I don't know. But I've been putting, hey, Spink, why not? So I've been putting some more detail because I want to print him very large. And so I've been cutting in some cuts here and there. You know, you can use there's like a, what is it called? A contrast brush, where if you have some carved in details like this, you can go over the carved in details and it'll punch those details so you'll actually see them in the print better. Because in a render, you might not want that much detail, that harsh, you know. But in a print, you want to push it so it will actually print and you can see it, or maybe even paint it. So you can see these scratches down in here. I can run that brush across the surface of these. So for example, like say these cuts are pretty light. So if I go grab the contrast delta brush like this, I could just kind of brush over these. Oh, the Sculptress Pro is on. Oh, crash. Crash! I tried to Sculptress Pro something that was too dense. And it's like, I can't. And then I tried to undo it. It's like, nope. Okay, I'm trying to bring ZBrush back here. Hold on a second. Second here. Oh, what are we doing? All right, take care, man. Yeah, I gotta stop streaming here shortly, but I just wanted to show you this one little brush and how it works, because it's pretty dang cool. I guess I could just show you on a sphere, but okay, here we go. Let's solo this so it's faster. There we go. So if I go grab that brush, contrast delta, and then Sculptress is off, and then I can just lightly brush over the surface, and you can see it just kind of pushes the valleys in and pulls the peaks out. It just makes it stronger, essentially. It's like contrast in Photoshop, you know? Just turns up the contrast. Pretty cool. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And yeah, we'll try and get that chameleon finished next week. And as always, if you want these brushes, I give them away for free over on my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. It's right above my head. And I also teach an online workshop. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. And I also have an acceleration program. If you're super serious and you want to get some mentoring, just reach out to me about that at my email address is shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. And thanks. Take care, guys. Have a fun week, and we'll see you next month.